Hello students, welcome back to Tuition Masters Class 9th Sentence YouTube channel, and today we are here with grade 9 constitutional design worksheet session. So today we have already completed the chapter in the past two videos. So today we are going to do a worksheet. We are going to discuss some important questions, MCQs as well as subjective. So make sure to like this video, share with friends and subscribe to the channel right away. So let us start practicing. We are going to do some MCQs. We are going to do assertion, reason based answers, and even long and short question answers also. So all these things are going to cover. So make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video. So question number one. What was the system of apartheid? Apartheid, it was in South Africa, correct? South Africa, and apartheid basically meant to do racial discrimination, means discriminating people, uh, discriminating people based on their skin color. So it was a unique system to South Africa of racial discrimination where the white Europeans imposed the system and people were divided on their skin color, blacks and whites. Blacks are considered inferior and whites were the superior ones. So that was the system of apartheid. Next one. Discuss the population composition of South Africa. Now, basically, South Africa had three groups in total. Okay, they had the whites. Okay, then they had the blacks, and then they had the colored means that they were from some other country, and majority of the population was black. So the whites were the European traders who came to South Africa during 17th 18th century, and they settled in South Africa. Blacks were the original inhabitants of South Africa itself, and they were 3/4 of the total population. And colored means they were of mixed races, and even people who came from India were known as the colored. Okay. Next question. How were the blacks and the non-whites treated by the white rulers of the South Africa? So basically, the whites had a technique known as segregation. Okay, segregation was the technique used by the white rulers. They had separated everything. They had separated things for whites and blacks. Everything was separated by them, and the whites were treating blacks very harshly too. So the apartheid system was oppressive for the blacks. It was against the laws also. They were forbidden from living in white areas and could work in white areas only if they had a permit. So they, in their own country, they were not allowed to go in the white areas, the place where whites lived, and they could only work in there if only they had a permit to go. Places like trains, bus, I mean the transports and places like trains, buses, taxis, schools, college, library, like almost everything was separated for the whites and blacks. That process was known as segregation. So all these things were separated. Okay, basically all the facilities of the people were taken away and separated. Okay, for whites only, these places only whites will go, these places only blacks will go. That was segregation. And blacks could not form an association or protest against this terrible treatment. They were oppressed and couldn't do anything. Okay, let's do some MCQs now. Read the given statement carefully. Okay. Apartheid was the name of a system of racial discrimination unique to South Africa. So that's a true statement, correct? Apartheid was a new system. Okay, they were not sure what is it already. Okay, next one. System of apartheid divided the people and labeled them on the basis of the skin color. Right, that is also true, correct? Blacks and whites they were separated. So what will be the right answer? C will be the right answer. Both statements are true. Next one. When did South Africa become a democratic country? When were they a republic? When did they gain the republics? Right? So it was basically in the night of 26 April 1994. In 26 April 94, South Africa was democratic. Alright. Now, Which group of people made up to the three-fourth population of South Africa and were called blacks? Okay, now South Africa we're talking about. So blacks, basically blacks, they had the total composition of three-fourth of the country. Remaining one-fourth were the whites. Correct, they were the whites and the colored. Whites were the European traders. Colored were from India, correct, and blacks were the native Africans. We're talking about Africa only, right? So the native inhabitants of Africa were the blacks. Okay. Now, what is a constitution? Why do we need it? So when we talk about constitution, we studied that constitution is basically a set of rules, correct? Set of rules. We need it because the this constitution gives the correct way on how will the government work, correct, and even it gives the proper rights to the citizens of the country, isn't it? So you look over here, a country's constitution is a set of written rules which are expected accepted by all the people in the country. It is a supreme law, and that is the only law everyone has to follow. The government, the population, everyone have to follow that constitution rules only. Now, why do we need it? Four reasons. It basically, this is a 5 mark question. See, 5 mark question. What is the constitution? 1 mark. Why do we need it? Four reasons you will give, and 5 marks you get it. First one, it generates a degree of trust and coordination which is necessary for different people to live. Like in India only, there is a diversity. Correct? There are so many people in our country. Now, if there are different rules for everyone, the discrimination is done, so that will be a very long and unhealthy process, isn't it? So the constitution makes a assurance that all people will live together in a proper harmony and coordination. It specifies how the government will be constituted, who will have the power to make decisions. So how will the government work, the working of the government, the federalism and all, that is written in the constitution already. So you can't come and make your own rules. No, if you're the government, you want to do something better, that you can do, but how will you do that? That is given in the constitution. It lays down the limits of powers of the government and tells us what the rights of citizens are. So government, it's not that if anyone is a prime minister or president, they have the supreme power. No, they do not have the supreme power. Even they have some limits on their power. They cannot do anything they want. No, they also have some specific powers, okay, which they have to, they have. And even citizens, the fundamental rights of citizens are also given in the constitution. It expresses the people's aspiration about creating a good society. What can citizens do? What laws and rules should the citizens as well as the government abide to? All of these things are given in the constitution. So it is very, very necessary. If there is no constitution, everything will be a mess. All right. Next, what does the Constituent Assembly debates? So basically, if you remember, in our last session of constitutional design, I said you that in the Constituent Assembly, correct? In the Constituent Assembly, the records, correct, each and words the word said and everything, those were recorded, and all those things which they wrote, the drafts, the words they spoke, each and everything is recorded. That is the constitutional constituent assembly debates. So after the draft constitution was prepared, the committee through several rounds it did discussions. Okay, they did discussions that it was a draft, it was not that, okay, constitution done, implement. No, first a draft was made. Okay, through that draft, the people, I mean the constituent assembly, they did many discussions, thorough discussions, clause by clause they went. After that only they gave the things. 2000 amendments. Okay, 2000 amendments means changes. 2000 changes were made in the constitution, and the members deliberatory for 114 days spread over 3 years on these amendments. So 114 days were spread over 3 years in doing all these 2000 amendments and changes. Every document which was given, okay, it's not a constitution may take this one year constitution. No, there are many documents created, okay, and presented. Every word was spoken has been recorded and preserved till date. So these records and everything are known as the Constituent Assembly debates. Alright, you can consider this as a two marker question. Now, next question. Why should we accept the constitution made by the Constituent Assembly more than 6 decades ago? It's been such a long time that India got independence, and before independence, only the constitution was made. So, why should we follow it till date? The time during that, time during now, it's all totally different. So, why should we follow their rules? The reason is the constitution which they made, it was not only about their members, that there were how many, 299 members. It was not that only about these 499 members, right? So it's not only that only about them only they were considered. No, it was about the broad consensus of the time. In the future also, what will happen, they wrote accordingly. The assembly represented the people of India, and members came from different groups. Okay, it's not in the Constituent Assembly only specific people were there. No, there were all. They were even Muslims, they were Hindus, they were Christians, they were even of different languages, different classes also. So they give all their ideas. There was no large social group or political party which questioned the legitimacy of the Indian constitution. The Constituent Assembly, which is made, they made it on too much. They did not make one today. Okay, made the one. No, they took so much time and made it. So no one came up and said that no, 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 we don't accept the constitution. What is this? No. Constituent Assembly, they worked in a systematic way, open way, and consensual manner which gives sanctity to the constitution. So although it's been a very long time with the constitution made, but still it was made on a broad consensus of time, and hence it is our duty to follow them. Okay, let's do some MCQs now. So we have assertion reason. Assertion says making the constitution of a huge and diverse country like India was not easy. Correct, that's true. Such a large country, India, it was not easy. Correct. At that time of independence, the people of India were emerging from the status of subjects to that of the citizens, and the country was born through partition on the basis of religious differences. Correct, that's also true. While the constitution was made, India Pakistan partition was going on. Correct, and the Britishers considered the people as subjects. Okay, now from subjects they were getting converted to citizens. Now both the statements are true, but we have to identify where it is a correct explanation or not. Now India was a huge country, so that was, we cannot make the constitution was not an easy thing. Correct, but so reason is not related to it. Correct, so the answer will be that it's not a correct explanation. Okay, it's not explanation, but yeah, both the statements are true. Question number two. Arrange the following events of British India in ascending order. Okay, ascending means, from the first thing to the last thing. Motilal Nehru and other leaders drafts a constitution for India. Then, election to provincial legislatures and ministers all over British India. Election to Constituent Assembly. Then Karachi session for the Indian National Congress. So we know that at the last, election to the Constituent Assembly was made. Then only everything, as the constitution was made. Correct. Then first was Motilal Nehru and the other leaders who came up and gave the drafts. Later on, the Karachi session took place. Correct, due to which the elections of provincial legislative ministers all over British India was conducted. So the right answer will be 1, 4, 2, and 3. So yes, this is the right answer, 1, 4, 2, and 3. Okay. Next question. When did Motilal Nehru and 8 other Congress leaders drafted the constitution? They made a draft. Okay, and on that only there were many amendments done. So in the year of 1928, Motilal Nehru along 8 other Congress leaders made the draft of the constitution. Next, discuss the roles of Indian Constitution. What are the roles in our Constitution? First one, Constitution describes the institutional arrangements in a very legal language. How the institutions will be made, how will it work in a very legal, and it's not informal, it's very formal and legally written. It lays down a procedure of choosing persons to govern the country. Presidents, prime ministers, all the chief ministers, all of these things are up in a specific way. How will they be chosen? All that things are in the constitution. It defines who will have how much power to take which decision. It's not that a government, okay, whatever they want they can do. No, how who will have how much amount of power, what they can do with that power, it's that is the rule. It puts limit to what government can do by providing some citizens rights to citizens that cannot be violated. There are fundamental rights given to the citizens which the government can also not violate. So the normal citizen cannot do it, not even the government can do it. So these are some of the rules given. Next, what are the four main ideals enshrined in the preamble of the Constitution? What is preamble? Preamble is a short introduction. Okay, it is a short introduction before the Constitution starts, all the articles and clauses, right? So, if you ever study a chapter, maybe, I don't know currently in the books or not, but yeah, in many books, they before starting the chapter, they give you a short introduction that what's going to happen in the chapter, right? For example, when you watch a movie, you get the trailer of that, isn't it? So that is the example of preamble. It's a short introduction. So the four main ideals are basically justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. These are the main four ideals. Justice means socially, economically, and politically, justice will be given to every citizen, no matter rich, poor, no matter class, or nothing. Okay, liberty. Liberty means freedom. Because every citizen have liberty. They can think and they can express their views. But whatever God, whatever religion they want to follow, they can do that. No one can stop them. Equality. Every citizen will be provided with equal status and opportunity. It's not that okay, no, he is poor, we cannot give him job. He will be labor work only. No, anyone equality has to be given. If any person it be, status and opportunity has to be given to all. Fraternity means, other name for fraternity is brotherhood. In your previous grades you have studied fraternity as brotherhood only, so that all citizens of India, all Indian citizens have ensured about the dignity of individual and unity and integrity of the nation. So whatever people are there, everyone should live in harmony and peace with each other, no fights, nothing. Last question of the day. Why is preamble called the soul of the Indian Constitution? This is an important question. Most papers this has come. Why is preamble the soul of Indian Constitution? Now basically, we call preamble, it's a short introduction we understood. It is the soul of constitution. Why? Because it has the philosophy on which entire constitution has been built. There are many words that is republic, sovereign, socialist, secular. Then we studied the four: liberty, justice, equality, fraternity. So on these pillars only the Indian constitution is built. So these words and values in the preamble provides a standard to examine and evaluate any law given by the and actions of the government. So find out whether it's good or bad. So the government also has to go through the constitutional laws on how to work out. Okay. So with this, we have completed with it chapter and chapter we did. This was a worksheet session. So thank you so much for watching. I hope we did all the important questions. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment down in the video and we will surely reply back to it. So make sure to like this video, share with friends and subscribe the channel right away. I'll be seeing you very soon in upcoming videos of SST. So till then, make sure to take care and goodbye.